Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Attack on Titan. Last time around in the OVAs, we had our first OVA, which is Elise's or Ilse's or someone's notebook, notes from a Scout Regiment member. Basically, it was about how Hanji was trying to convince Commander Erwin that they needed to capture a Titan in order to study it, but she wasn't getting very far with that. Then they encountered a Titan who had been keeping, like, this shrine to a dead scout, basically. And they found the scout's notebook and learned about how the Titan was able to talk and communicate and was sort of fighting off its own Titan nature. And with all of that, Hanji was able to make a credible case for capturing Titans to Commander Erwin, and that's exactly what they did. So yeah, all in all, it was a very interesting story that I imagine is not going to be continuing into this story, so yeah. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure, so let's go ahead and jump right into this OVA of Attack on Titan. Here we go. Alrighty, that is the second OVA, and by golly, was that stupid. But I liked it. That was a good stupid, I must say. That was a good stupid. You know, I didn't think about that would be that we would get just dumb side stories, you know? And I like that. I like dumb side stories sometimes. Whereas last episode was definitely, like, I mean, I guess you could qualify that as a side story. It's not necessarily, you know, I guess it's not necessary to the overall story, obviously. But it was a good little thing, you know, a good sort of prequel showing, you know, the ins and outs of, you know, the inner workings of the Scout Regiment and this interesting development with Hanji and everything. But this one I like is just a nice, just in the middle of their training, they still had a year left in their training. They were able to, you know, they did this nice little competition and stuff. So that was really good. And yeah, an episode about Jean is really fun. And the fact that he got a character arc, ridiculous as it was a character arc he got. So yeah, we'll go into the notes, though I don't expect this will be a very long discussion, but still. We'll talk about it. So, Jean Kirstein. I love having an OVA about him. And honestly, I mean, I don't know what the rest of the OVAs are going to be about, but I do kind of hope we get a couple more stories within the training. I'd really like that, because honestly, yeah, you know, we have that time skip pretty much at the beginning of the series where, you know, between the fall of Shiganshina and the Battle of Trost, there's 5 years that are skipped over, you know. Eren, Armin, and Mikasa are pretty much out on the streets for 2 years until eventually they join the cadets, and then that's 3 years of being with the cadets. And honestly, one thing about it is that, I don't know, I feel like sometimes you kind of forget that, like, oh yeah, this group, they've been together for 3 years, you know? And I feel like you kind of forget about that a little bit, you know? Like, they're all, like, the best of friends, you know? And sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's just me that, like, I kind of sometimes forget that, you know? But yeah, but I like it here, where we get a bit more of that time between, or that time in the cadets. So, that was really good. And yeah, Jean Kirstein origin. Now, at the beginning, when he was doing that painting, it was definitely, he was definitely drawing Mikasa, but was that to imply that he, like, was he just drawing, like, what he would imagine to be, like, the most beautiful girl, and then he meets Mikasa? Is that it? Because, yeah, the way that's set up, it sounds like that was before he left to join the cadets so that he could join the MPs. So it just so happened like that. That's basically, he drew the girl of his dreams and then met the girl of his dreams. The problem is, the girl of his dreams is Mikasa Ackerman, and that's just not gonna work out for anyone, you know? Like, the only guy she's really interested in is Eren Yeager, and he couldn't care less about Mikasa, you know? It's the great paradox of Mikasa Ackerman when you really stop and think about it. At least he's not interested in a romantic sense, you know? Like, they are still friends, you know, for the time, but still. Anyway. But yes, so that was really interesting. And honestly, this whole thing, I love how there's no, you know, like, oh, there's this complicated thing about why Jean, you know, is angry with his mother and leaves home in anger and stuff like that. They don't explain it because you don't have to explain it. Why is Jean being like that? Because he's a douchey teenager. That's why. You know, he was going through puberty. He was going through shit. You know, he was just growing up, and that's just what happens. He became a rebellious child, you know? And that still stayed in effect. You know, that molded him into the person he was when he joined the cadets, until eventually the cadets and later the scouts molded him into being a good man, you know? Because, yeah, honestly, when you really think back on it, like, everything of Jean in Season 1, like, this is pretty consistent with it, honestly, but, yeah, it was sort of somewhere after Season 1, I think, where Jean really started to grow more. He was less one-dimensional than he was in Season 1, and not to say it was what he was bad in Season 1, but he definitely grew over time, as did everyone, you know? To where, when you get to Season 3 with the Battle of Shiganshina, like, you trust him to take command, you know? Like, yeah, you have Eren and Mikasa as the muscle and Armin as the brain, but when you need someone to just take command, you honestly do go for Jean Kirstein, because he's good at that. He's good at that. So, oh, dang it, I'm turning him into Evil Dan. He's good at that. Anyway. So, yeah. We also had a training exercise in Trust, which was interesting. I did like that, and how everyone was outshining him. I mean, I guess that's sort of the thing, too, is that going into this, Jean kind of walks in with a chip on his shoulder, you know? Now, maybe not as big a chip as Eren, maybe. And I guess the thing with Eren and Jean is that their chips are very specific. It's not that Jean hates everyone, but he's trying to outshine everyone. Even though they are his comrades, he does get along with them, they are his friends, he tries to outshine them. So when anything goes wrong for him, then, you know, like here, he starts lashing out a bit. Also, I guess this is confirmation that Jean is from Trust, which is interesting. So I like that. Because, yeah, we don't really know everyone. I mean, yeah, I guess Sasha, we know the forest. Obviously, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin are from Shiganshina, and Connie is from Ragako Village. Oh, shit, I guess that's everyone. Yeah. Because then, we know where Annie, Raina, and Bertolt are from. But then, is that all of them? Like, shit, I guess that is. Well, and Historia. Historia grew up on a farm. Ymir, it's complicated. No Krista or Ymir in this one, which is interesting. See how I swap back and forth between Historia and Krista? It's interesting. Anyway. Yeah, neither of them in this one. I kind of hope we get a bit more of them. Honestly, I do want a bit more of Ymir, because Ymir is definitely... Ymir is such an interesting character where it's like, I didn't like her when I had her, and now that she's gone, I miss her. That's definitely it. It's like, oh, man... Like, I took her for granted, and now she's gone, you know? Where we are in the show, you know? Spoilers. Shit. But you know what I mean. I know. I said I would try to avoid spoilers for later seasons, you know? But, I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping that if you guys are watching these reactions to the OVAs, that you're probably around where I am in the show itself, which is the midway point of Season 4. So, anyway. But yeah, we had everyone outshining Jean, and he got into an argument with Sasha. I like how Sasha is actually offended by being called Potato Girl. That is really funny that she, and that's the thing, she's had that nickname since day one, since orientation, and I love that is, that's the name they use for her, but she actually is offended by that, which I like. But yes, Commander Pixis decided to have a cook-off in order to resolve the argument. What the hell was the argument anyway? I'm not really sure. Like, as they were going off, I was like, wait, what exactly are we arguing about? I don't know. But I like that this whole cook-off is obviously because Commander Pixis is hungry. He's drunk and he's hungry. And I like, if you watch this first, which it would be interesting if anyone tried to fit in the OVAs into their watch-through of Attack on Titan. I'd be curious if anyone has tried that, though I don't think anyone has, or I don't think anyone would. But, if this is your introduction to Commander Pixis, yeah, he seems like, he's just this old, drunk, ridiculous sort of commander, whatever. But I like that, yeah, he is sort of sillier and stuff like that. But that's only because it's a time of, peace right now. It's a time of moderate peace. There is no specific attack going on. And when there is a specific attack, such as the attack on trust, the struggle for trust, then he gets serious and he is a brilliant commander, So I like that. So yeah. So they went and hunted the colossal boar, which I like. There just is a giant friggin' boar out there. And that's just that. Like, it has nothing to do with Titans, none of that. It just is, and they went and hunted it. So I like that, and I love the talk with Rhina about being a hunter. I thought that was funny too, and Sasha slapping him and elbowing him and stuff, and it's like, no, you shame your ancestors. The world is connected. We have to do this, and I love. Rhina, too, is like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you're passionate about this, so I'll help. All right, if you insist. So I did like that. They did get the colossal boar. And again, they go through this whole thing of like, the people of Trust can't go hunting because of the colossal boar. But apparently they're not that good at it then, because you bring in one hunter, from the forest where Sasha lives, and she takes it down. Now, granted, yes, she did have help. She did technically have Rhina and Connie there. And she also has the extra benefit of her ODM gear. And that is something specific, Because most hunters don't have ODM gear. In fact, she didn't have ODM gear when she was a hunter in the forest in her hometown. But that just makes her all the better. Because she is that good with ODM gear. She's used to taking down sort of Titans. I guess more Titan standards, but still, like, she is so used to that ODM gear, and doing that along with her skills as an archer, incredible. So I love that. We had the whole thing with the mom, which was interesting. Again, it really just boils down to that Jean is just a angry teenager, and that's it. And I kind of love that, And you can kind of see some parallels between Jean and Eren, Because Eren was sort of, I don't want to say a problem child, but there were moments where, like he took his mother for granted. And he even said that, he even said as much at the beginning of the show. And he took his mother for granted, and then she died, Of course, I feel like Carla sort of laid down the law with Eren a couple times, Whereas Jean's mother didn't. Like, you would think Jean, like, if Jean was doing that, you'd think that mother would kick his ass, Like, that's clearly a man who has not gotten his ass kicked by his mother. If his mother was Carla, I feel like she would have kicked the shit out of him. That's all I'm saying, all right? They had the plan to steal the beef. I love that Armin just like had an existential crisis about that. He is so straight-laced and pure and good that he literally can't do anything like that. He goes into this existential crisis at the thought of it, and then he injured himself. That was kind of funny. And I love that Annie was just like, all right, I'm done. I'm not doing this. Which I still am curious. Like, okay, Armin, I can kind of understand, Jean being like, come on, Armin, you gotta help me out here. And Armin, being the good little boy he is, he would, be like, oh, well, all right, I'll help. I don't agree with, this competition, but I'll help or anything. How, in the name of all that is holy, did Jean rope in Annie? I want to know how he did that. Like, because again, even Sasha, like, okay, Connie's pretty easy. Reina, again, I can kind of understand in sort of a similar thing to Armin. Like, they would be obliged to help. How, in the name of God, did Jean Kirstein convince Annie to go hunting with him? Like, was she that bored that she actually did that? I don't know. Either way, the two of them were out on the beef. And then we had the meals, which that was funny, him tasting the beef. That whole dream sequence was hilarious, if not trippy. It was so funny. I love how specific it got, because you never get crazy moments like that in Attack on Titan. So I love how they just went balls out on that. That was funny. But Jean served the omelet that his mother gave him. And that won because... And I like the distinction that Sasha only served meat. That's all she did. She didn't actually cook. She just roasted the meat. There was nothing else there. Jean... Now, granted, Jean didn't make that omelet. The omelet is a complete meal versus the meat, which is only part of a meal. So, while the meat was delicious, honestly, none of that is really on Sasha. Like, yes, she cooked it, but that's just because of the colossal boar meat, So I like that. And I like Jean does say, hey, you weren't the only one who just toasted your dish, And I also love that ridiculous montage of them cooking. I love how the montage of them cooking is played also with Mikasa just working out. And that has nothing to do with anything. Mikasa just is working out, And that's just that. And by God, is she so hot. Like, it's been a while since we've sort of crushed out on Mikasa. Pretty much since Season 1. Like, after Season 1, I sort of switched over to Historia. And now in Season 4, I've kind of switched over to Peak. But yeah, honestly, if I could just fangirl a little bit over Mikasa, by God, she's fucking jacked. Like, Jesus Christ, she's jacked. And I love Eren struggling with one box. She walks over with 3. That's how strong she is. That's why I don't care. And spoilers for Season 4. I don't care how many powers Eren gets as a Titan. He won't be able to beat Mikasa. And that's just a fact. That's not even counting Levi. But that's another story entirely. But yeah. But I just love it. It just cuts to her. She's in a tank top. So you can... Or barely a tank top. I guess just a sports bra. And she's just... exposed, I suppose, and you can just see all her glorious muscles, and the sweat, and it's hot, and oh my God! All right, we'll get off of that. It's been a while since we've crushed out on Mikasa, so there we go. But yeah, that is basically it. I think I talked a little bit longer than I thought I was going to about this OVA, but yeah. That was this OVA, whatever the hell it was called. It was like an unexpected visitor or something. So, yeah. That is basically it. Where we are going next time, who knows? I really don't know where we're going to be going anymore. But yeah, we'll find out. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Attack on Titan reactions, there is a playlist on screen as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.